Welcome back, Hearthstoners. This is Jester back from my house party last night. I've got the next couple days off, so I'm going to be plowing through the ranks of Season 6 with Grommash Meta Control, the deck available to be found on hearthpwn.com. And we're queuing up for another match. I believe I'm rank 10 at this point. And I did take a loss earlier to a Warlock build. Let's see. Our worthy opponent is Rexar. This is going to be another Hunter match. Surprise, surprise. The ladder is rife with them. And in this match, we're going to want to keep our Armorsmith and our Taskmaster and get rid of Ragnaros. Shield Slam might come in handy considering we have an Armorsmith to power it for an early game control card. And Y-Star is not going to do us any good unless this goes to Fatigue. Send a greetings, make sure we're not playing against a bot. Alright, he might be a bot. Let's close this gate behind him so he can't get loose. Stoke up our furnace, make it hot in here. It's like a sauna. I'm going to go ahead and fire this boulder at him too, since he can't escape. Taking your sweet ass time, huh? Come on. Alright, whatever. Calling out the Armorsmith. My turn's going to be the same as it was before, looking at an empty board. The Ghoul is surprisingly strong against Hunter in the early game because of things like that creeper right there. And you do want that creeper to hit the table before your Ghoul does because of Death Rattle timing. If they both die at the same time, then the Ghoul's whirlwind effect will take care of the little tiny ones. But since I have an axe here, it doesn't really matter, since I'm going to crack that spider open anyway and get myself some armor out of the deal. Get myself a little bit more board presence, a little more tempo. And he's going to bring out Hogger. Not Hogger, Piggy. Alright. Armor up. Shield Slam the Piggy. Removal is kind of funny against Hunter. You really don't need it for much except for the high mains, and you tend to use executes against the high mains more than you do your shield slams. So you can feel free to shield slam to your heart's content early on in the game, although sometimes it's best to hold one till the mid where you can trade with a taunted minion or something like that for a little bit more oomph. Get our Acolyte out there, go to the face a little more, and this time he summons, the Pumper. That's okay. Our axe should be able to take care of him. And we'll trade into him with nobody. Taskmaster. Get ourselves another card. There we go. Now we'll trade. Get a little bit more armor, hit him in the face. Hunter, like Shaman and like mages, really don't have methods for replenishing their health. So any damage that you can find, any area where you can switch from being control to being the beatdown, is very important to take advantage of. A high main. We'll let him slam into a Ghoul. Armor up. And we're still the beatdown because the Ghoul's in play, even though he might have an owl or something like that to silence and come past with that high main. He's wasting a valuable owl in order to be the beatdown for a turn, which is very common for Hunter to do. See, that kill command is no longer a threat to me. High main comes out. Mad Scientist comes out. It's going to be a very, very trappy game. Let's see. Another Acolyte. Hymene's still a threat. Let's get ourselves a card. Let's crack it open and then Baron. Get massive value out of that Baron. Clean up after the Hymene, put a trap in his hand, do 2 damage all around, and put a threat on the board. I am looking relatively low on life, but as long as I watch for lethal, I should be okay. Baron's going to clear up a web spinner. Now he does have that trap, and that trap's probably a freezing. But I don't care. You'll hear me say that a lot. The reason I don't care is because Baron costs 7 to cast. And a freezing trap doesn't put him out of castable range for the warrior. Now, if you have a Ysera or an Alex, you don't want to charge into a possible trap, because if it's freezing, you'll never see that card again. Baron, however, now comes back to my hand safely and can provide a cleanup toward the end game. We still have board control. Get another drawer out there. We have a taunter out there. Now our health is getting relatively low against Hunter. That's never good because they can burst for quite a bit. Especially with Leroy and Unleash the Hounds. And since I haven't seen an Unleash the Hounds yet, I'm going to assume that he's holding one. Hunter's Mark, one of their 2 removal spells. And the other Hymene. Okay. And a leper gnome. That's interesting. Well, like I said, I'm getting pretty close to in danger zone, so I'm going to go ahead and shield block, shield slam. Crack open his last Hymene. Put out another taunter. I'm pretty much going to play for making sure that I stay alive through this area right here. I'm pretty sure he's got an Unleash the Hounds in his hand. So if he does draw a Leroy, he's looking at lethal. And I do not want that to happen. So let's keep that taunter out there. See? He's trying to get rid of the taunters. Trying to clear the way. You see this? He's sending these hyenas into the taunters, trying to clear the way for Unleash the Hounds. Alright. Well, I know he's got it. He's got Leroy and UTH. What do we do? Well, let's draw an answer. You always want to start off drawing a card. That execute can take care of the core. But what is my mana count looking at? Get some more health up. Slam into there, do the execute, get a piece of armor. Oh boy. Well, Leroy and UTH isn't enough to push me to lethal yet, but I know he's got it. There's Lotheb. Yeah, Lotheb's a great setup for it. So he's casting Lotheb. He's got his other 2 cards are Leroy and UTH. I now have to do something about it. So even though Lotheb's out, I'm going to spend that shield block, push myself out of range, trade with Lotheb so that he's 5 damage less, and drop the ghoul. Now, with the ghoul in play, it doesn't matter what he decides to do with Leroy and UTH. The ghoul's death rattle will clean up anything that's left over. He goes to my face, realizes he can't beat it, and walks. That's right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.